Hi everyone, my name is Osakuro Mwera. I'll be your facilitator for MAC 441 documentary film production this semester. I trust that you cooperate so that we make this course as profitable as possible to all of us and make it as interactive as much as possible. And at the end of the day, we all will come out richer in terms of our knowledge and understanding of documentary film production. You're welcome once again. This week, our first topic is Introduction to Film and Documentary Film Production. And under this topic, we'll be looking at the meaning of film, the history of film, the principles of film form and film style, classification of film, components of film, and film theories. Of course, you have your manual, but we believe that this interaction will drive home some salient points for all of us. First, what is film? Film has been seen as a medium of mass communication whose main components of production technology are the camera and editing equipment, the film projector being the main reception technology. The motion picture is a medium of mass communication which has touched virtually every segment of the society. Therefore, it could be seen or described as an art. It could also be described as a business. It could also be described as a science, in which the creators take pride in their creations because it entertains, it educates, and of course, as a result of the audience, it allows for the creation of wealth. Basically, that is what film is. I want us to move to the next subtopic we've outlined, which is the history of film. The invention of photography played a big role in the history of film. Joseph Nips was the first person to make a practical use of a film and camera around 1816. But as regards motion picture, two people were noted to be trying to capture and portray motion picture between the 1870s and 1880s. And these persons are Etienne Jules Murray and Edward Muybridge. Both Murray and Muybridge had great influence on Edison, who is today credited with developing the motion picture industry in the United States of America. The real stage for the development of a projected image was set in 1877. The Lumiere brothers, Louis and Auguste, made the next advance. In 1895, they patented their cinematograph. Edison recognized the advantage of the cinematograph over his own kinetoscope and invented the vitascope, a machine that projected moving pictures on a screen large enough for everyone to see simultaneously. In the context of Africa, film came in around 1896 through a vaudeville magician who stole a theatrograph projector from the Alhambra Palace Theatre in London and took it to South Africa, where he later introduced the first moving image on the continent. In Nigeria, film came in the context of colonialism. The history of film in Nigeria dates back to 1903, when the first film was screened at the Clover Hall in Lagos. Some authorities say that the first film in Nigeria is Palava. But whatever the case may be, film today is big business in Nigeria. And it has a global name that catches on, which is called Nollywood. I want us to move to the next topic, which is film form, the principles of film form and film style. As you may know, film form is a system of relationship that we can perceive among the elements in the whole film. Element in this context is a small but necessary part of the film, while the system is a unified set of related interdependent elements that depend on and affect one another. Such elements are acting, directing, lighting, costume, sound, music. These elements continuously, move together to create that whole. Generally, the principles of film form are discussed and perceived under what you may want to call functions, similarity and repetition, difference and variation, development and unity and disunity. Now let's look at film style. It could be seen that film form refers to the principle by which a film is structured. However, film form cannot be discussed independent of its style or the technique adopted in structuring it. For example, some of the commonest techniques or styles are the mise en scene, cinematography, shot to shot, and sound in cinemas. Now, let's move on to classification of film. When we talk about classification, we are talking about genre. Genre could be seen as a kind, a type, or a category, especially of works of art, and in the context of our discussion, film. It is used in determining the specific type of classification into which a film, can be categorized. It provides us with a template for analyzing the specific characteristics of films. So today, in film scholarship, we have genres such as westerns, as the name implies, gangsters, musicals, war films, thrillers, spectacles, science fiction, or what you commonly call the sci-fi, horror films, and so on and so forth. If we look particularly at this course that we are taking, documentary could be considered as a genre, just the way the feature film or the experimental film or the animated film could also be considered. But the point to take home is that our understanding of genre allows us to appreciate the effort that goes into the production style through which a processed message can be sent through the film. But in all of these, in looking at all of these, certain factors are very influential. And what are these factors? We're talking about culture. For example, you do not expect Westerns as a genre to come from Africa, for example. You do not expect Africans to be very comfortable with the idea of horror films. But it will just be granted that Africans are very comfortable with the epic genre. So culture plays a very critical role in the categorization of film. So is society, and of course the environment, and of course the available science. Let's move on. The next topic I want us to look at is the components of film and film theories. By components, we simply mean those elements that make up film, just the way you have drama. You have components such as theme, plot, character, language, setting. And when you're looking at setting, for example, it's not just that physical representation. It could also be the cultural setting, the atmosphere that embodies the emotional characteristics of characters or entities that appear within the frame of the film. The last but not the least item I want us to look at in this interaction is film theories. I want us to know, just the way you may have read in your manual, that film theories the film theories help us to appreciate film, put film in critical perspective. We have film theories like theory of realism, formalist theory, auteur theory, electric and synthetics theory, the structuralism and semiology theory, historiography. The theory of realism basically is within the realm of discourse, where we are looking at actualities, true to life stories, things that really occur, the documentary, a docudramatization of real life events. The theory of realism helps to capture such film presentation. But this is against the formalist theory that is essentially theoretical or sometimes utopian. And of course, the auteur theory speaks to that idea of looking at the film from the ingenuity, the creativity, the special attributes of the director of a film and so on and so forth. Historiography, for example, considers the film from the perspective of history, the cultural history of the film. So, depending on the theory that one wants to apply in examining or criticizing one's of a film before one, you have different lenses from which you can look at any film, particularly with our interest, which is the documentary film production. So I wish to say thank you for listening.